Well, Dr. Gherman, so we're going to be asking a few questions. The first one that I'm going to ask is it possible if you can give us a brief introduction?
Okay. Yes, a little open-ended, but I came to Sac State in 2006, so I guess 15 years ago. Surprisingly big number, I guess. It sounds big when I say it, but I guess time has passed. I teach primarily physical chemistry lectures, though I do teach a computational chemistry class every other year, some general chemistry discussions or labs, and even the Chem 4 class now and then. Do computational chemistry research, co-advisor of a chemistry club, and that is actually a surprising proportion of my life. But you know, at home, I've got my family, and they keep me busy when I'm not at school, I guess.
All right. So, Dr. Gherman, I'd like to ask you another question. So, what inspired you to go into teaching? What really kind of drew you into the field of chemistry, you think?
I actually was like a math TA one semester in college, but that actually wasn't terribly exciting, to tell you the truth. But when you're in grad school, you're required normally to do some TAing for lower level courses. Your first, for us, it was our first 3 semesters. So like it or not, I had to do the TAing for Gen Chem as a grad student. But actually, I found out I really liked it. My grad classes were pretty hard, especially the first semester. So when I got to go teach general chemistry the first semester at the same time, I actually really enjoyed it. It was relaxing, actually. The students are great. I found out I could kind of actually explain stuff effectively. They liked it. We kind of got along, and I did that 2 more semesters, enjoyed it just as much, and thought, well, maybe this is something to go for, you know. And I hung on as a TA 3 extra semesters actually after that. Wasn't required, but I kind of hung on doing it, and I really enjoyed it. Still enjoyed it. Even though it was general chemistry for 3 years, it was fun. And yeah, so it was around then, probably, first, second semester of grad school, I decided that that teaching is actually something I particularly enjoy, even more than research, which I still enjoyed, but it was teaching that was the thing that really excited me.
Okay, Dr. Gherman. So we know you've already mentioned this in your introduction, but could you go into a little more detail about the research you do at Sac State?
Well, in a really, really quick nutshell, I do computational chemistry research. So it's a little different because it's all on a computer. I do not have a wet lab. So essentially we use software based upon quantum mechanics to study properties of molecules or the reactions they undergo. Particularly the kinetics, thermodynamics, or energies involved in the reactions. We can also look at other properties of the molecule, and it helps to explain the trends in energies we see for those reactions. So I study chemistry at metalloenzyme active sites. It's kind of my own niche. But I also collaborate with Dr. Spence studying endyne chemistry, and collaborate with Dr. Miranda studying metal saline chemistry. Those 2 collaborations are kind of nice because Dr. Spence and Dr. Miranda, they're both experimental chemists. So it's a way to kind of bring together computational and experimental chemistry to study either endynes or metal salines. And it's kind of nice. You can get more detail than on those systems than you can studying them just purely experimentally or purely computationally.
Another question that I'm going to ask is, what do you love most about being professor?
Probably getting to know my students, and hopefully helping them learn chemistry. I try to do good lectures. I hope that they're helpful. When a student tells me that they're helpful, that's when I know that I've done my job well, and that's what I like. And also just kind of getting to know my students, and hoping that I can do something positive for them or help them along on the way to wherever it is they're trying to get to. I guess it's just the chance to teach the students and help them get them where they're going. That is what makes being a professor, I guess, nice or particularly good. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what do you like to do in your spare time?
For a long time, actually, as a professor, I was single. So I followed a lot of college sports, Steeler football, anime, frisbee golf, traveled when I could. But now I have my family, so the hobbies have kind of shifted a bit. So it's now more about using my spare time to hang out with the family, take my youngest daughter out, bake for the family, travel with them when I can. So I guess that's still in common. It's just instead of traveling by myself or with a friend, now it's family travel. So, but yeah, I guess now it kind of all centers around kind of doing things with the family for the most part. Although I still do keep track of Steeler football closely. Interesting off season coming up, actually. So.
Thank you, Dr. Gherman. So one last question we have for you. What is one piece of advice that you would give to students?
So when I was an undergrad, I majored in math and chemistry. I started off as a math major, and we had to take general chemistry anyhow. And when I took that, I found out I liked it. So I decided to major in chemistry. But I had been about halfway through the math major, so I decided I was just going to finish the math major anyhow. Looking back on it was not a good decision, really, because first of all, about halfway through the math major, I stopped enjoying it. And the only reason I decided to finish was I was too stubborn to give it up and just take the minor. So I ended up taking a whole bunch of upper division math courses that were really difficult that I didn't enjoy. And I don't think I needed that math major. I think the math minor could have been just fine as a quick route out of math and focus on chemistry. So I would say don't go into a major or a minor if you don't enjoy it. It's not worth it, and you're probably not going to do anything with it at the end if you didn't enjoy doing it while you were studying it. And then the other thing is, because I was doing all that, I didn't have time to get involved with clubs or organizations on campus. I was pretty much just took my classes and did some undergrad research, but that was about it. When I came to Sac State, I got involved in chemistry club and figured out that actually being involved in clubs is kind of fun. And you get to do things that you don't do in classes and get to meet more people. It took me until getting to Sac State to really fully learn that lesson. So I would say to people, your studies are important, your classes are important, but get involved on campus, make connections, meet new people, do things outside of classes, kind of get a richer college experience out of it, because you don't really get that chance once you graduate from college.
Well, thank you, Dr. Gherman, for agreeing for our faculty spotlight for this month. We appreciate everything you do for Sac State and the NSM department. Thank you for having us today.
Oh, yeah, no problem. And nice to see you all.